Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new vid of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out a brand new death battle of Magneto versus Tetsuo. That's right, the Marvel of Photokinesis man himself versus the Psycho Psychic of Akira. Psycho Psychic. Yeah, okay.
This episode of Death Battle.
Here we go. Let's go ahead and start placing some bets. I'm voting on Tetsuo.
Magneto, Marvel's mutant master of magnetism.
Tetsuo Shima, Akira's telekinetic terror of Neo-Tokyo.
Nice.
These two maestros of kinesis have ignited revolution not just in their worlds, but also the very mediums they exist within.
Oh
He's
yeah,
with
that's right.
my boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons,
armor,
armor,
and
skills
to
find
see
out
who
would
will
win
a death battle. Nice.
In the
Photokinesis
short duration
versus just,
of modern civilization,
telekinesis.
likely no conflict tested humanity more than the Second World War. In the primary Marvel 616 universe, this fact is no different, especially
I
to the
wouldn't
Eisenhart
think so.
family and their only son.
You may know him as Magnus, Eric, or Max, but if you ask him,
Whoa, wait a
he'd
minute.
say his true name is Magneto.
As a
Whoa.
Jewish child in Nazi Germany, Magneto's early life was, well, extremely traumatic.
Even after
that's
eventually
cool.
escaping certain
Well,
death with his
interesting,
future
not
wife,
cool.
misfortune always followed wherever he went.
Thanks to
Guys,
his
I love a
unexpected
mutant.
mutation
Cool.
called the X gene, the mark of a superhuman. After settling
Nice.
down in Russia with his new family, the KGB quickly found out about this quirk, so they burned his
no.
house down with his own daughter inside.
Oh.
Naturally, he
Damn.
snapped and killed them all. I don't blame him. I'd do that too. Too bad his wife didn't get it and ditched him, though. But that's when Magneto made a choice. Since
Damn.
humans hurt him his entire life,
Wait a minute.
he'd do the same to them in the name of mutants everywhere.
Wait a minute. Magneto only has photokinesis. How would he have... No vehicles, guns... Okay, never mind. I answered my own question.
At first, Magneto turned to the telepathic powerhouse Charles Xavier and his fledgling team of heroes.
Hey.
But his new friend wasn't thrilled with the idea of, subjugating the human race. So, Magneto formed his own team
Nice.
of mutants, the Brotherhood.
Magneto can telekinetically move, bend, and reshape any metal he's aware of. Bullets,
Yep.
vehicles, buildings,
See?
you name it. Even himself when he manipulates his personal magnetic field for flight and energy barriers.
Magnetic kinesis is
Photokinesis.
far more versatile than it would appear at first glance.
Oh, no,
the
wait.
blood in your body
Not photokinesis. It's just magnesis. Photokinesis is just the ability to manipulate only metal, like iron.
has iron in it. The air has traces of lead and mercury. Whole mountains are lined with metallic ore. The Earth itself is surrounded by a literal magnetic field.
Yeah.
So many toys for Maggie to play with. He
Magnesis.
can detect magnetic fields at such a huge range, he can even pinpoint Earth's magnetic rays while stranded on a planet in another galaxy. And guess what?
Nice.
He was able to use those rays to pull himself back to Earth in a single day.
His range is even more remarkable
actually
than
really
that.
cool.
Did you know that in 1820, physicist Hans Christian Ørsted discovered that electric currents, like those of electrons and protons and atoms, produce their own magnetic fields?
Ooh.
Magneto can fine-tune his control to affect these very subatomic particles.
Alright,
Dummy
that's
here will
really cool.
illustrate such a particle, with positively charged protons and negative electrons.
My life is as meaningless as an atom is small.
So what you're saying is Magneto could, like, yank one of those out.
Correct, potentially changing an atom's entire chemical makeup. However, neutrons do not
That is
have
really
a charge,
cool.
and without the ability to adjust those to accommodate the change in atomic mass, the atom would become unstable and
Finally!
And explode! Oh shit, hold on. So pretty much Magneto could turn a human into a living nuke. Awesome.
do that. Magneto's violent protest
Nice.
against humankind clashed with Xavier's peaceful reconciliation, not unlike the ideologies taught by Malcolm X and Dr. King, by whom
Oh,
Stan Lee and
okay.
Jack Kirby were inspired. Magneto would spend most of his career pushing Xavier away to prove his philosophies superior, which meant doing battle with Xavier's school
Nice.
of thought, quite literally.
And Baldy's mind powers are no joke, but thanks to Magneto's psionic repelling helmet, Professor X
Oh, yeah.
couldn't touch him. Magneto
that helmet,
survived
he's
Cyclops'
literally
earth-splitting
unstoppable.
lasers, absorbed the power of the sun to battle Iron Man, ripped the adamantium skeleton out of Wolverine's body, and
Oh.
even taken on Hercules himself. You know, the Greek legend, Zero to Hero, the guy who held up the skies of Olympus for Atlas? That
Oh, yeah, that's
Hercules.
right. So
Seems
Atlas could
sensible.
go to
Magneto
his
once used
daughter's
the Earth's
wedding.
magnetic field to overwhelm the Phoenix
Yeah,
Force,
that's right.
which can effortlessly destroy planets, let alone far more.
Hell, if he really wanted to, Magneto could totally just fling the Earth off its axis.
It's entirely possible he may have eventually resorted to just that. Over time,
Yeah,
it became clear
hopefully
Magneto's
not.
war was doing far more harm than good for his fellow mutants, however well-intentioned he may have been at first.
Luckily, he later realized he was going a bit overboard and began reevaluating his
Ooh.
perspective. Good for you, Mags.
All right,
It's really
that's
tough to
cool.
recognize when you're the baddie.
It took time and patience not just from Magneto, but also from his peers. Yet eventually, his path was
Very
completely
nice.
changed. He even became a leader for Xavier's X-Men.
But
Oh.
don't let his new goody two-shoes ways fool you. Whenever there's a threat to mutants, you can bet Magneto will be there to annihilate it.
Well, that's
Forever,
cool.
by any means necessary.
It's kind of strange seeing the helmet uncolored.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Hold on. Just skip. Come on. Oh, okay. Here we go.
A new type of bomb was set off over Tokyo, and 9 hours later began the Third World War.
Welcome to 2030, or
Whoa.
2019 if you're watching the anime. The buildings are taller, the motorcycles are cooler, and the future is brighter.
Cool.
Oh, wait, not really. If you find yourself in the Capsule Gang, you'll meet Shotaro Kaneda, who's like your textbook
Oh, yeah.
anime Chad. Gets
Game
the
guy.
ladies, beats the baddies, and cops the sweetest rigs. Man,
Oh, yeah,
I
it
need
really
to get
is
me
an
one
awesome
of those.
bike.
And then there's the little brother of the group, Kaneda's best friend, Tetsuo Shima. He's, well,
The exact opposite.
He's
A
unstable.
total wimp. As a kid, Tetsuo in his college thesis forehead got bullied for being the new kid at the orphanage. That's until Big Bro Kaneda came to the rescue.
eventually the two went to vocational school together
Oh, yeah.
and formed the Capsules. But Tetsuo was never satisfied with Kaneda being the leader of the pack.
Yeah, he always
Tetsuo
wanted
desired more than
more.
anything to be top dog.
That's why
Oh,
I
I
said
can
he's
just see that monkey's
unstable.
paw curling in my mind. Or that kid walking down the street. Shit, Tetsuo, watch out, you're gonna...
And explosion.
That definitely should have killed him.
Yeah,
But since
surprisingly it
Tetsuo
didn't.
earned himself a ticket to military confinement. Turns out they had an under-the-table program for developing child superweapons.
In the same program that backfired and jump-started the war, Tetsuo
Uh-oh.
became Japan's Esper number 41.
He may not have been a natural with bikes, baddies, or babes, but this telekinesis stuff hit
Oh, yeah, his
different.
telekinesis
He walked out of
was
that hospital
incredibly
ward
powerful.
effortlessly flying, reading minds, and blending people into strawberry jelly. Tetsuo got what he wanted, power,
Look at
along
this.
with the hunger for more of it.
A hunger that used to only be satiated
Insanity.
with drugs. And not just any gateway drug, pills so potent that a single gram of the stuff could kill you.
So,
Damn.
pretty bad. Kinda reminds me of college days, huh, Snow Wizard?
Tetsuo's main
No
ability
whistle.
is his constantly increasing psionic energy, growing more and more powerful over time. This is due to Tetsuo's link to, quote, the memories of the universe, end
Whoa.
quote. It's weird.
That
Either
is
way,
definitely
Tetsuo
weird.
leveled up from lame gangbuster to certified badass. This guy is a walking natural disaster. His
He's literally
telekinesis
the
can shake the
definition of
planet,
don't
easily
fuck.
cause earthquakes over a dozen miles below the surface. He can summon psychic barriers for defense and crush foes with friggin' gravity wells. He can dart around as a literal bolt of lightning or even teleport in an instant.
Tetsuo's telekinesis can
Oh,
be
that's
so precise he
cool.
can target and obliterate specific parts of the body.
Oh,
He can heal
damn.
severe wounds quickly, but even after losing a whole limb, he can craft a new one using whatever nearby materials he wants.
Oh yeah, I remember
With
that
these powers,
scene.
Top Dog
Badass.
Kaneda didn't matter anymore. Who needed his approval? Tetsuo tasted that good shit and he was hooked. And when he
Oh, yeah,
found
he
out
was not
another
gonna let
Esper
go.
named Akira could deal him even more power, he rampaged through Tokyo to find him.
And this is
Only
where
to
versions
find
of the
out.
story differ.
Ahem. Spoilers ahoy!
You may be familiar with the 1988
Bing.
animation, where Akira had been dissected for research.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the original manga, Akira is not only alive, but even more powerful.
Oh.
Once that little runt nuked Tokyo, Tetsuo would erect the Great Tokyo Empire with Akira and himself as its leaders. But he
Okay,
ended up
this
just
is
abusing
interesting.
the position for endless sex and inflating his ego.
With Kaneda's rebellion at his front door, Tetsuo
Whoa.
took a turn for the worse.
This is
He had to
interesting.
fight.
Tetsuo's defeated other powerful espers, dodged light-speed lasers, and jumped to the moon
manga is
faster than
definitely
anyone
different
could
to the
blink,
animated
and then
movie.
punched a big old hole in it. And if you ask, Boomerstick, wouldn't that mess up gravity on Earth? You would be right because it totally
Okay,
did.
there you go. Yeah.
Screwed the planet, I guess.
Damn.
Stupid moon.
Which brings us to Tetsuo's folly. His abuse
Yep,
of his
here it
powers
is.
spiraled until he lost control. Unfortunately for Kaneda's rebellion, this did not make Tetsuo an easier enemy to confront.
Yeah,
Exactly
definitely
opposite,
did not.
in fact,
Did
as
not.
Tetsuo painfully mutated into an unstoppable behemoth.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's not totally disturbing at all.
I'm happy to say the manga's version is even more disturbing.
I mean, I know
okay.
babies can be monsters, but that's a whole nother level.
It is pain incarnate. I can relate. Another Esper described Tetsuo's struggle
Alright.
as ego death, which has multiple definitions, but in this case is likely symbolic of the version attributed
Oh.
to drug use.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
described as a shedding of one's own identity. Like how
Okay.
LSD can emulate a wild out-of-body experience, and you come back
See
with
now.
a new perspective. Though this is maybe a little more extreme. In fact, you
you
could say
think?
Tetsuo was shedding his human body to play with the powers of a god.
I wish I could shed out of my body, but in this case, Tetsuo going full out of body meant becoming a mound of raw, ever-expanding energy.
Which
Yeah.
almost nuked Tokyo all over again. And those explosions are not normal. I
Jeez,
would
look
know.
at these things.
Top scientists in both the manga and animated versions describe these explosions as births of a new universe.
Damn.
Given its properties of nuclear fusion and proton collapse, Tetsuo's mutated form
Holy
was likely
crap.
creating a Big Bang.
You know, the thing that started our
Oh.
whole universe?
Right, in the manga,
That
it
is
instead
not
ended
good.
the Espers and their abilities once and for all.
Oh,
A testament that
okay, that's not
humankind is
bad.
unsuited to wield the powers of the divine.
No,
Alright.
the anime's even more trippy. Thanks to Akira and his buddies, Tetsuo got so high on
Boom.
ego death, he ascended time-space to become god of a new universe.
Yep.
Kind of worth it, right?
And
I mean,
yet,
not
Kaneda
bad.
kept his empire up in his honor, now as the Great Akira Empire. Ironically,
Nice.
in death, Tetsuo finally received the attention he so desperately craved.
Oh, crazy. Hold on, ad.
You-
So even after all that, I still got to bet on Tetsuo.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Bespoke Post.
Take your summer adventure and collect
It's ever true
from
Come on.
to get you.
Dip it,
box
guys.
of up and
Just
first
a little more.
Come,
set. We've run the data
Okay,
through
here
all
we go.
possibilities.
it's time for
For
a
Death Battle! Let's go! Ooh,
Even in Japan, they fail to recognize our superiority.
okay, cool.
Wrong country, Grandpa! You're in Akira turf now!
Oh, immediately Tetsuo's fighting.
You're dead meat!
Nice.
Impudent child!
The hell are you
look at
calling child? I make the rules around here!
Even in Japan? Nah, this is Akira territory. Nice. This is really gonna be an amazing fight.
You're wasting my time.
I wonder if they're gonna find a way to implement the, There it is. Never mind. That's my answer.
Fix for the master of magnetism.
It's always the right arm as well, isn't it? Oh. It's like some Mob Psycho stuff.
I'll kill you! Your
Okay.
history, scumbag!
Okay, now what I want to see is Tetsuo versus Mob. Oh, no, that would be amazing. Wiz Boomstick, if you guys ever see this, do that. It's gonna be baller. Tetsuo versus Mob. Yes, please. Nice. I mean, if Tetsuo's focus hard enough, he could. Oh, that's bad. There goes the helmet. Oh. Oh.
I believe I've had
Damn it.
enough tantrums to last a lifetime.
Maybe. There you go. This walk. Whatever. Oh man, this is. Oh god. Oh god.
Listen, welcome. I'll handle this on my own. Not die. Hurts. Help me.
What the? Huh. Wait, is he gonna like try to find a way to pull him out of the giant blob form? Nope. Is this gonna be a draw? Wait.
Poor child.
It's not. Oh, damn. Wait. Wait, how? Was that possible? And there it goes.
Thank you.
Tetsuo is dead.
You are welcome.
Well, damn, I lost that bet. I really thought Tetsuo would have won.
I'm never doing that again.
Tetsuo's esoteric telekinesis and other bizarre abilities certainly gave Magneto pause, but the Master of Magnetism had greater control over his foe.
The numbers don't lie. Tetsuo cratering the moon was insane, but Magneto punched Iron Man with the force of the sun. And while Tetsuo jumped all the way to the moon, Magneto could move across galaxies.
Against Tetsuo in his human form, Magneto obviously held a sizable advantage in power and speed.
But stats aren't all that matters. With his precise telekinesis, Tetsuo could just target Magneto's organs. GG, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but Magneto had similar skills. There are very few substances on Earth that lack any metallic or magnetic component, and Magneto is very creative with his powers.
Which he could use to predict Tetsuo's teleportation and even shut down his telekinesis. And his scraps with Xavier prove he could handle Tetsuo's messing with his head. The biggest challenge for Magneto was when Tetsuo's gross mutated power came into play.
Especially given how the detonations from this form were compared to that of a Big Bang. Although the authenticity of that observation is questionable. In truth, the Big Bang was a sudden expansion of matter on a universal scale, whereas Tetsuo's explosions are more akin to nuclear blasts, clearly intentional given the post-war symbolism of the Akira story.
The whole creating an alternate universe bit wasn't even part of the original material, so we can't exactly call it canon.
But
so that
let's
was
just
only
say the comparison
anime,
wasn't superfluous. Let's say Tetsuo did in fact cause a Big Bang capable of creating or destroying an entire universe, alternate or otherwise.
Turns out Magneto had the tools to stop that too. Helmet Head could overpower Hercules, who was strong enough to hold up the skies of Olympus, which is literally heaven and an alternate universe.
This doesn't necessarily mean Magneto could easily destroy a universe with a snap of his fingers, but it does prove he can match a similar level of power. And context is everything. Tetsuo's Big Bang eruption specifically exhibited proton collapse, meaning its atomic structure was primarily an unstable mess of neutrons and electrons. And Magneto has detected and commanded unstable electrons before. This means Magneto had every means available to take control over this Big Bang.
Damn, and I thought he could just move some metal around. It's like the question posed by some of the greatest prophets of our time. Fucking magnets. How do they even work?
Magneto's astonishing power and intelligent control over all things magnetism triumphed in the end.
Tetsuo pushed his luck, but didn't have the metal to pull off the win.
The winner is Magneto.
Well, that was honestly an amazing fight. Sucks that I lost.
Thank you for watching this episode.
Hey,
if you'd like to directly support the whole Death Battle team,
wait to see
click that
next.
join button and consider becoming a member.
Next
We'd
up
really
on
appreciate it.
Death Battle.
Hope you like the next one.
Here we go. Oh, what's this? Oh, Hercules vs. Sun Wukong. Damn, this is gonna be a great one. Two heroes of mythical origins battling it out? Oh, I cannot wait to see that next week. Well, anyway, folks, that has been and Fox Reacts to Death Battle, Magneto vs. Tetsuo. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creators and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time. Peace.